Non-current investments are of two types. One is trade investment and one is other investment. So, but the main criteria of identifying non-current investment is that because whatever investment you are doing it for the purpose of retaining it, not for the purpose of reselling it. Like you are purchasing goods with an objective that I will be reselling it and I will be earning profit. Obviously, I am also making investment for the same purpose that I will be realizing its profit at some point of time. But the objective is not to immediately resell it. But the objective is not to immediately resell it. One day, obviously, I will be selling it or I will be realizing the profit, whatever I want. But the purpose is that I will retain it in my business and I will try to take the capital gain of it. So, like you are investing in some property, land, you are investing in some shares or debentures of some companies, you are purchasing some mutual funds, or you are investing in some partnership firm, or you are investing in some startup. So these all are called non-current investments. And why these are termed as non-current investment? Because these investments will be held for long-term period in my business. These investments will be retained for long-term purpose in my business. Like I am holding fixed assets, same way I will be holding these investments also. Then next is deferred tax asset. So again, the difference between accounting income and taxable income may be either your deferred tax liability or maybe either your deferred tax asset. So that is the only thing which you should know about that. Not that much technical, you need not to know about that. Now next is long-term loans and advances. Now as we take loans, sometimes we give loans also. So the loans which you have taken for long term, which you have borrowed for long term, will be covered under the heading long term borrowings. It is non-current liability. But if you are giving loan to someone for long term, for more than 1 year, or if you are giving some advance to someone which you will be uh, getting benefit after 1 year or more than 1 year, then you can say that it is my long-term loan or advance. So that loan which you are giving to someone else for long term, that will be your obviously asset. And what type of asset it will be? It will be your non-current asset. So if you find there are 5 classifications of non-current assets. One is fixed assets, second is non-current investments, third one is deferred tax asset, fourth one is long-term loans and advances, and fifth one is other current assets, other non-current assets. So if you are not able to classify any non-current asset into these 4 points: fixed assets, non-current investments, deferred tax asset, and long-term loans and advances, that will be written in other non-current assets. Now the last part of the balance sheet, asset side of the balance sheet, is current assets. So this one part is new for you, current investments. Otherwise, inventories, you all know what are inventories. Generally, you have learned till now, whatever stock you are having in your business on the closing day, when you are closing your final accounts, or when you are at the end of your financial year, that is termed as closing stock, which you were earlier writing in your balance sheet on the asset side. Now that is almost same like that, but it will include some more items that we will be discussing in the next period in detail. Then trade receivables, I hope we have already discussed that also in some way, that it will be also including 2 parts: debtors and bills receivable. Like trade payables were including creditors and bills payable, trade receivable will be including debtors and bills receivable. Cash and cash equivalents. Till now in the balance sheet you were writing cash balance and bank balance in the previous year, which when you were preparing the final accounts. Now there will be 2 more terms which will be included in cash, definition of cash, and that's why it is termed as cash equivalents. The things which are not cash but they are almost equal to cash. That's why it is termed as cash equivalents. What are these cash equivalents? We will be discussing when we will be discussing these statements in detail. Then, as you are giving long-term loans to someone, you might be giving some short-term loans also to someone. Cash equivalent example is like last year you have opened an account, check-in and account. If you remember, when you were doing cash book, double column cash book, at that time you have learned check-in and account. So that check-in and is also, it is not cash, but it is almost equal to cash. You can realize that check at any point of time. It can be converted into cash very fast. That's why it is termed as cash equivalent. So this is an example of cash equivalent. Now next one is other current assets. So if you are not able to classify any current asset in these 5 headings, then it will be treated as other current assets. So we will be discussing these all subheadings in detail in the next period. Right now I have given you a brief idea of the balance sheet, which will help you in remembering this balance sheet. So 5 subheadings are there and 6 subheadings are there. So, but it is easily learnable if you will try to focus on this part only. In 5 to 10 minutes you will be able to remember these. Again, if you will focus on this part of the balance sheet for 5 minutes, you will be able to learn these all, and this way you will be learning this whole balance sheet. If it is learned only, then further you can move to the next balance sheet, which we are going to discuss in the next period, that what are the detailed contents of each of the subheading of this balance sheet. But I hope till here each and every part is clear, but it will be more clear in the next period when we will be discussing in detail.